following is a production of the Department of Broadcasting and Journalism at Western Illinois University.
Tonight on Live at 4, officials in Springfield are working on the budget. How much money could be coming WIU's way? We'll have the latest from the Capitol ahead.
And the Student Government Association is in the middle of their election season. Find out what issues the student body president candidates debated on ahead.
And what's that bright round thing in the sky? Redrick, we haven't seen it in forever. It's the sun.
Sure.
I know, it's so sad. Storm Team 3's Devin Biggs will have a look into the weekend's forecast to tell us if the sun is here to stay. Live at 4 starts now.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. News 3 starts now.
We begin this evening with breaking news out of McDonough County. An 81-year-old Vermont woman is dead after a crash happened this morning.
Now, Illinois State Police reports that it was a two-vehicle crash that happened after 9 a.m. just east of Industry, Illinois.
The intersection where the crash occurred is unmarked and has no stop sign. The impact forced the vehicles from the roadway into the field. The driver was pronounced dead on the scene. Her name has not yet been released.
Moving on now, more funding could be coming to Western Illinois University. Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4.
On Wednesday, a bill was approved by the House committee but has yet to be passed by the Senate. The House met to discuss a higher education stopgap budget worth more than $800 million. The bill is a temporary way to help universities and colleges across the state to stay open in the midst of the state budget impasse. The last stopgap budget bill was passed last summer, appropriating more than $31 million to WIU. This time around, the state is proposing more than $47 million to the university for this fiscal year. And continuing with news on the budget, 17 school districts in Illinois are suing the state for lack of education funding for the past several years. Superintendent of Staunton School District Don Cox spoke out about why it's important for school districts to stick together on this matter.
On this significant day, I'm proud to stand united with my fellow superintendents who represent an unprecedented number of school districts that have joined together to file a lawsuit against the state of Illinois for failing to adequately fund state-issued mandates regarding the Illinois learning standards. Our purpose is to ensure all children in Illinois receive a high-quality education and to fund school districts adequately and equitably so each and every school can offer all students the high-quality education they deserve.
Now, Governor Bruce Rauner and the Democratic General Assembly said that they have increased school funding, but without a formula for spending, it doesn't help the schools. And public universities in Illinois are struggling to make ends meet during the state's 22-month budget stalemate. Northeastern Illinois University announced it on Wednesday it will cancel 3 days of classes in order to cut costs. According to the Chicago Tribune, interim president Richard Heldobler called the state's unprecedented budget impasse a state of emergency for the university. Now, because of this, Northeastern will no longer hold classes the last 2 days of April and May 1st. Now, moving on to election coverage, the outcomes for the April 4th local election are in. Now, 3 city aldermen, Carper, Vegesi, and Moon, will keep their seats because they were running unopposed. But the elected officials for the Spoon River College Board are in. That is Jerry Creamer, Dave McGuire, and Brendan Ballman. And there were 4 candidates elected for the Macomb School Board, which are James LaPrade, Ardell Thompson, John Adams, and Jill Jolene Myers. And candidates running for the Student Government Association's election are giving students a reason to support them. At Tuesday night's debate, President candidates Brady Smith and Grant Reed discussed what their first order of business would be when they are voted into office.
On day one, I do want to go ahead and start finding diverse members for my cabinet. And how I will go ahead and do that is through an interview process and just sitting people down and listening to their ideas and their thoughts and whether or not they actually would become part of my cabinet or not. We could still use those ideas in the coming year should I be elected president.
On day one being to get more information out to the students. I think that it's really crucial that we do that, and there's a couple of things that I've actually been working on already and kind of laying the foundation for. And if I am to be elected or not, I would still like to work with whoever is president next year to try to get that implemented. Now, students can also vote for candidates running for Senator at Large and student member of the Board of Trustees. Voting begins on Monday, April 10th through Friday, April 14th at 4 p.m. on Purple Post. Now, another first Wednesday art event at WIU, but this month's was extra special for one graduate student. News 3's Jasmine Yates explains why.
I'm here on the 3rd floor of Garwood Hall, where a new art exhibit has opened. And this quiet mood you feel around me is just a part of the project. This new exhibit is called City Lights. It was created by Kate Prefontaine, and it's being put on by the Western Illinois University Arts Department.
I'm really happy that it's finally open. I spent a lot of time and hard work creating each individual piece.
Kate has traveled the world for study abroad and for mission trips, and says the glow of the cities you see from the airplane has inspired her creativity.
And then just before you land, you see the lights of the city, and just it kind of creates this galaxy almost beneath. And so that's what really inspired me to recreate this experience for others.
It's taken 2 semesters to complete the project, and fellow classmates say it's great to see her work come together.
Talk about this project in the beginning stages and then come to the end has been kind of cool.
She made all 200 lanterns through silk screen, a type of printing that uses ink to transfer designs to another material.
Art for me is really an expression of creativity and an outlet for me.
Kate hopes her exhibit will inspire others to travel.
Definitely wanting to travel more. I knew that was her sharing her experiences from traveling internationally and doing mission work.
The exhibit will be on display for the next 2 weeks in Garwood Hall. Reporting for News 3, I'm Jasmine Yates.
I'm going to have to make sure that I get out there and check on that exhibit myself. Now, you can't run away from cuteness, but you can definitely run with it. Saturday marks the 8th annual Donna Phillips 5K Run Walk at WIU, but you get to take your dog with you. Check-in begins on the east entrance of Brophy Hall at 8:30 a.m. Registration is $25 for non-WIU students and $20 for WIU students. Be sure to register before Friday if you would like to receive a shirt for the race. The 5K run starts at 9:30, the 5K dog run starts at 9:35, and the dog walk starts at 9:40. For more information, you can go to WIU's Kinesiology's Facebook page.
When we come back, we are continuing our News 3 special report, Overcoming Obstacles, and today we're featuring one of our very own team members.
And warm heads and happy hearts will tell you how to support a new organization on campus while also helping kids who are battling cancer. But first, we're going to throw it over to Jason Chauvin, who has a preview in sports. Jason?
Yes, Emily, coming up in sports, News 3 sports director Danny Fry traveled to Springfield with the Western Illinois women's basketball team as they were honored by the House of successful season. We have that, but before we go to the break, let's send it over to meteorologist Devin Biggs. Devin, what's going on outside?
Well, other than a windy day today, we finally saw a mixture of clouds and finally that big ball of light in the sky, the sun. A live look at our webcam overlooking the beautiful downtown Macomb Square, showing some cumulus clouds in the sky, so the clouds have been in and out here across Western Illinois. Coming up, we may hit the mid-70s this weekend. I'll let you know when after this.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 is back in a moment.
I think just working with everybody in the newsroom, everybody has such a great camaraderie. All the opportunities that I've been given here have just been amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
Live from Salee Hall in high definition. Live at 4 continues.
And welcome back. We're continuing our News 3 special report today, Overcoming Obstacles.
And today's story is extra special because it's about one of our very own here at News 3.
He delivers your forecast every Thursday and is known for our team for his positivity.
Megan Sanchez gives us a look inside the life of Devin Biggs on today's News 3's special report.
We're gaining more daylight. That's a wonderful thing.
He forecasts the weather and proudly places baritone in the WIU marching band. He's involved on campus, a regular student like you and I. But behind the scenes, there's a little more to Devin Biggs than what you see on the air.
So I am on the autism spectrum. I was diagnosed with high-functioning autism.
When Devin was a toddler, his parents were concerned because he wasn't speaking. By kindergarten, a doctor diagnosed him with autism. Autism has many forms, but it's most commonly characterized by challenges with social skills, which Devin says is where he struggles most.
Like once in a while I may try to talk to someone or having another conversation, and usually they may try to ignore me, which sometimes I shouldn't be talking because they're talking, but yeah, interruption's probably the biggest part when having a conversation.
Devin sometimes faces challenges academically. He utilizes the Disability Resource Center in order to take his tests in a separate room.
Because sometimes in a classroom when you hear there's a lot more people in there, or you hear the papers moving around, when people get up and leave, I'll be honest, that's a little distracting to me. So it helps that I'm in that quiet room, and maybe a person or two are in there, and I have extended time.
But when it comes to his challenges, Devin wants to be open.
Sometimes my volume of my voice is a little louder than it should be, so sometimes I'm asking people, let me know my voice is too loud, so that way I can help out with that, so that way I can better myself as an individual, so that way I can be approachable to talk to.
Jasmine Crichton is the news director at News 3, and when she met Devin, she says she immediately noticed his keen weather knowledge.
He loves the weather. He loves the weather so much. He loves the weather more than anyone I've ever met. And I know a lot of people who are weather anchors in this business, but Devin has a pure love of forecasting.
And although this is Devin's last semester working for News 3, he knows Leatherneck Nation will always be home, even after graduation.
I look forward to continuing to keep up with Western in the future and come back for alumni events or just whenever I'm in town. So, hey, that's the perfect.
What a great story.
Absolutely.
It's actually National Autism Awareness Month, so you'll see our entire News 3 team is wearing blue today, just to show support for Devin and more than 2 million Americans who are on the spectrum.
That's what I'm saying. I'll say it for everybody as well. It's just been an absolute pleasure to work with Devin and watch him grow along with all of us and to work with here on News 3.
There's not a day he doesn't bring a smile to my face.
Absolutely, and to you as well, I'm sure. Well, the correlation of disability and pop culture is a hot topic these days. Gretchen Steele-Weiss is a learning specialist and spoke to News 3 about how we should treat people with disabilities.
Up in like the overwhelming emotions behind like oh, that is so sweet, look, you know. But then if we don't stop to think critically, we are perpetuating the myth that having a disability is somehow inspirational.
Weiss says it's important that people think critically about how pop culture portrays people with disabilities, especially on campus, while students are developing to become future leaders.
Well, as the temperatures begin to warm up outside, you might want to get out those beanies, but you can still support Love Your Melon, a group on campus selling the woven hats. The WIU Love Your Melon crew recently met with Reed, a 6-year-old boy from McDonough County suffering from neuroblastoma. Because of the crew's recent success, they are now recognized by the National Love Your Melon organization and can host public events. Madeline Stalinsky, crew captain, says the crew is planning an event with the WIU softball team. They plan to raise awareness and bring joy to kids and families fighting cancer. There will also be a benefit for Reed on April 14th, beginning at 4 p.m. at Diamond Dave's. The WIU Athletics Shineless Relays will take place on April 19th, starting at 6 p.m. at Hanson Field. And there's also a superhero event that takes place during the WIU softball game on April 22nd, and that's going to begin at noon. If you need any more information, you can visit the Love Your Melon Facebook page.
Shifting gears now, news out of Hollywood. Comedian Don Rickles has died today. He was well known for being one of the most insulting comics in the business in his long career. Rickles started in 1958 with Run Silent, Run Deep, featuring Clark Gable and Burt Lancaster. He also made many appearances on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, The Late Show with David Letterman, and the Dean Martin Celebrity Roasts. Rickles was 90 years old.
Now, when we come back, Storm Team's 3 Devin Biggs will tell us if the sunshine will stick around through the weekend.
Let's hope. We'll be back. You're watching Live at 4.
I think what I love most about News 3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News 3 has really taught me to believe in myself, and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Now, from the Storm Team 3 Weather Center, here's Devin Biggs.
And welcome back to Live at 4. A windier day across the region, but also a lot more sunny. Look at our current surface map. You see the type pressure gradient here, or isobars, which is basically indicating that it's very windy here across the region. So that's why it's been very windy here across the region. So 53 degrees in Davenport right now, 50 degrees in Chicago, 54 in Des Moines. The farthest south you go, it's 60 degrees in Joplin, so not too bad. So here at home, 52 in Macomb, 52 in Peoria. So basically we're in the low 50s here across the region. Our almanac page for today, April 6th. We are below average for our high, but above average for our low. 52 to 40 was our range today. And we're going to take a look at our Midwest weather tracker, which is featuring a sneak preview at the new GO 16 satellite that will be hopefully operational soon. It's in experimental phases right now, so this won't get used all the time, but we're just showing off the amazing images that this thing is capturing. 5-minute images, so that's where technology is going with weather. So our futurecast for tonight, all clear, no story needs to be told here. High pressure moves in, and it's going to be beautiful. We look ahead for tomorrow as well. It'll continue to be clear, and high pressure continues to move in as well. So we take a look at our severe weather outlook. I'm going to skip that graphic for the sake of time, but could be a chance of some storms on Sunday. Keep an eye on that. Just be careful. We'll have more information later on. So futurecast for tonight, 30 degrees in Macomb, basically low 30s area wide, not too bad. Looking ahead for tomorrow, we'll basically be in the upper 50s to the east, low 60s off to the east. So not too bad here across the region as we finally get to warm up here across the region. So our forecast for tonight will be mostly clear with a low of around 30 and windy as well. Winds will be out of the northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Looking ahead for tomorrow, sunny skies. I like that with a high of around 60. Winds will be out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And our 5-day outlook, no rain coming in until Monday. And then look at that, 76. I'm going to point at that just because that's an amazing number. I cannot believe it's going to get this warm on Sunday. So Emily and Redrick, you may have to get the t-shirt and shorts or whatever clothing you wear for the warmth because, wow, we got some warm weather on the way.
It's going to be beautiful, Redrick. I even said I don't wear shorts before Easter, but those temperatures make me want to wear shorts.
I agree completely. And you know what? It's finally time to get that sun out. We're just so glad to have it here.
Thanks so much, Devin.
And now Jason Chauvin's in with a preview in sports. Jason.
Thanks, Redrick. You know, it isn't football season, but the WIU football team is in the headlines with a home-and-home series against a member of the Big Sky Conference that was announced, and also a newly renovated locker room was just unveiled this week. I have more details on the matchup, and we'll show you what the locker room looks like. And the WIU softball coach Holly Van Vlymen earned her 250th career win as the Leathernecks topped Omaha. We'll hear from Coach V herself on what it meant to get win number 250. All that coming up next on Live at 4.
We taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this? That's my resignation letter. You're resigning? Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit. I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me. Okay. But remember, it's not what you say. It's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about News 3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. News 3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back. The Western Illinois football team just announced a home-and-home series against the Eastern Washington Eagles. These two teams are scheduled to meet in Washington during the 2020 season, and then the Eagles will visit Hanson Field during the 2021 season. This will be the first matchup that these two teams have had, and the Leathernecks hold a 3-2 record versus Big Sky opponents. Let's stick with the Leatherneck football team. They unveiled a newly renovated locker room, and we're able to show you what it looks like. We get a behind-the-scenes look and tour inside the locker room that took just about 2 months to complete. There are now new wooden lockers with the Rocky logo embedded in them, 107 lockers to be exact. And the design was actually based off of the Los Angeles Rams training facility lockers. And a source told News 3 that a $200,000 donation came from a private donor, actually. Now, let's switch gears. Following its historical season, the Western Illinois women's basketball team was invited to the Illinois House of Representatives by 93rd District Representative Noreen Hammond. The team received a tour and then awaited their proclamation to be read. News 3 sports director Danny Fry was with the team during their recognition.
WIU head women's basketball coach J.D. Gravina tried to get his players to understand how big of a deal it was to be honored on the state level.
I think when they got here, they really realized it, saw the Capitol building and just all the action that was going on downstairs. And personally, I'm kind of fascinated with this political stuff. So, but it's really neat to get recognized on such a big stage.
Taylor Hanneman, an Illinois native, was one of 3 players to make the trip to Springfield and believes her team earned the recognition.
I really think that this team deserves the recognition that we're finally getting. I think through the season we didn't get as much, and I think that we've definitely proven ourselves.
Illinois 93rd District State Representative Noreen Hammond was following along with the team's success all season long.
I didn't want to jinx them. I was having so much fun, and it was not just Macomb, but I think the entire McDonough County area. What they brought to us, the joy and the excitement was just pretty special.
Western's success provides hope for other state schools going through tough times without a state budget in place.
Really to the state at large, I think when you look at especially the Illinois state schools and what they're going through and what they've been through athletically, to have a team have some success, I think has said a lot.
After the proclamation was officially read, Representative Hammond hopes her peers realize how big the accomplishment was.
Like, oh, maybe it could have been our team, but it wasn't. So I think it's a very proud moment for Western.
For News 3, I'm Danny Fry.
Leatherneck women's basketball aims for a repeat appearance in the NCAA tournament after losing only 2 players to graduation. And over to the softball diamond. Congratulations to WIU softball head coach Holly Van Vlymen, who grabbed her career win number 250 last Saturday against the Omaha Mavericks. Coach V was overwhelmed after the game with accolades from players past and present.
It was fun because so many of them texted me or put on Facebook or, you know, whatever, and just like it was so honored for them to be a part of everything, and that's what was really cool, was to hear from a lot of my former players and everything, and just to say how much fun they had. And, you know, even my current players, they were pretty excited too, because none of us had any idea. So it was a lot of fun.
Congratulations to Coach V and the softball team. That's all for sports. The final word is next.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success, think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3.
Finally, today is National Tartan Day. Now, Emily, do you have any idea what a tartan is?
So I saw this on Twitter on WIU this morning, and I was like, what is a tartan? So I started to look it up, but I think it's like something Scottish.
Well, I tell you, I believe so, but Western has their own official tartan. There are 32 universities and colleges in the U.S. that have official tartans with the Scottish Register of Tartans. Okay, so I looked it up, and the definition, it's a woven cloth, so something like a tie, it seems like.
Okay, so you all need to get a tartan. That's what I want. We're going to be wearing tartans next week. Well, that's all from us today.
But you can follow us online all the time. Thank you for joining us this evening. And a program note for you, Good Morning Macomb will not air tomorrow.
That's right. We'll see you on Tuesday for our Live at 4. And from all of us at News 3, have a good night, Macomb.